Morning, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over 5 rare mounts that you can farm daily. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Coming in at number 1, we have the Swift ZULIAN Panther. Now this one can be farmed up in ZULIAN on Heroic. This one has a 0.8% chance of dropping from High Priestess Kilnara. Now she can be located on the left hand side as you go in. And obviously if you wanted to farm her up, all you have to do is run in there and take her out. Now this is obviously a heroic, so that means that it's on a daily cooldown. That means the more ults, the better if you were trying to get a hold of this mount. Now other than that, you can also park an ult there and just do that daily to see if you to get hold of this mount. Now, me, I found this one to be pretty damn easy to get hold of. It's basically just run in and kill the boss, and is pretty damn easy. Now of course, as we are 120 at this moment in time, so that being the case, you shouldn't have a problem going over there and being able to try and get a hold of this mount. Now that being the case, let's move into number 2. But number 2 is in Magister's Terrace, and that is for the Swift Hawk Strider. Now you will have to set this one to heroic, as this one can be done on normal or heroic. And with the heroic version on Kelthus Sunstrider, so when he actually comes back after the fight with Tempest Keep or the Eye, the things that are of note for this actual mount for the Swift White Hawk Strider is it is at a 4% drop chance, and pretty much you will have to go through all of the bosses in order to get to the end. What is really handy when you're actually doing this one is pretty much at the end of the fight with Kelthus, so you've run all the way through, if you just run up the stairs, there's a nice little orb which will take you out of the dungeon and so forth, so you don't have to double back on yourself and do it like that. So that is one way in which you can actually make the farm a lot more faster in order to do. One little side note, however, from Magister's Terrace is you can actually get a decent amount of transmog from there. So if you are a gold farmer as well, if you've been watching my channel for quite a while, that being the case, it is a great transmog farming location with a load of ults if you want to try and get hold of this mount at a 4% drop chance. Coming in at number 3, we have the blue PROTO-DRAKE. Now this is one that I've been trying to get for quite a while, on and off however. But this one drops at a 9% drop chance, and it's from Skedi the Ruthless. This one is the 3rd boss from Utgard Pinnacle, and this one has to be set to heroic as well. This one is located in Northrend, and pretty much all you have to do is go all the way over to the Howling Fjord and just go over to Utgard Keep. Now Utgard Pinnacle is like a little bit higher up on the levels and it isn't really too hard to actually find. Now that being the case, one thing that you might want to bear in mind is there is a little bit of RP at the beginning before you actually get to Skedi the Ruthless, and just make sure you can, and just be prepared for that. Another thing of note when going against Skedi the Ruthless is you're going to have to pick up 3 harpoons in order to take him out of his mount. Now that being the case, it shouldn't be too hard, just kill any of the trash that actually pop up, and you just pick up a harpoon, fire it at Skedi, and once you fired 3 at him, he will then come out off of his mount, and then you will be able to take him out. For obvious reasons, after that, all you have to do is then loot him, and there's no real quick way in order to get out of this dungeon unless you know Dreamwalk abilities, like with a druid, or if you are using the Proving Grounds technique for many type of transmog farmers or dungeon farmers, you know this method quite well. So that being the case, guys, that is a 9% drop chance from Skedi the Ruthless, the blue PROTO-DRAKE, which I will one day have. That being said, let's move on to number 4, which is coming in at number 4 is the armored RAZZASHI Raptor. Now the armored RAZZASHI Raptor drops at a 0.7% drop chance, and that one comes from Blood Lord Mandakir, and this one is another one which is in ZULIAN. So this one is kind of like a dual farming location, because you could also farm up the Panther as well as the armored RAZZASHI Raptor as well. Now for Bloodlord Mandakir, all you have to go is to the far right, so the top right, so northeast of the actual dungeon, and he will be there. All you have to do is just basically just run in and kill the boss, and there's no actual real weird mechanics or anything that you have to dodge or do anything with. It's pretty much just run in, see if you get it, and then you may get the armor of RAZZASHI Raptor. This one actually by far took me the longest amount of time to actually get a hold of, because I just found this one to be near on impossible to get a hold of. Overall, I found this one to be the most easiest one to farm for, but it took the longest amount of time to actually drop. But overall is a great mount to actually get a hold of, because it actually looks pretty damn awesome, especially when you're an Alliance character and you actually have a Raptor mount. That is one up note for that going forward. Now that being the case, let's move on to number 5. For number 5 is the Raven Lord at a 1% drop chance. Now this one can be done in the Sethic Halls on Heroic mode. You have to have this set to Heroic. As you are running through the Sethic Halls, you can see the boss Anzu. Now Anzu will just be standing there, all you have to do is kill him and pretty much just loot and see if you get it. Now at 1% drop chance, it's not overly too difficult to get a hold of, but it does require you to do quite a few attempts to actually do this. Now I usually do this when I'm farming up a mount. I usually use an alt army, especially when it comes to dungeons and raid farming. I find this to be the most effective way, because you have more chances per week or per day in our case. And overall, I found this one to be the most easiest to get a hold of, as pretty much the Sethic Halls actually curves around, so you can actually pretty much just do the dungeon and get out and then log out and then go into another alt. It is also another great way in order to farm up a load of BC Transmog if you are so into farming up BC Transmog as well, so you do get some gold alongside this if you really wanted to. Now that being the case guys, that is the 5 rare mounts that you can actually farm daily. What do you think of this video? I'm actually trying out something a little bit different with some more mount type based things, because I love mount farming and also as well as gold making, and I thought I'd switch up a couple of days so it's not always the same repetitive thing overall. So that being the case guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow.